Will house market keep going up, or will the bubble bust?
As a lender, my point of view is going to be a little bit different than my realtor partners. And a couple of things are happening in the financial industry. And I do think that there's going to be a correction. As far as the bust, people assume the bust is going to be more like a 2008 bust. I don't see that happening anytime soon, just because the inventory is still so much lower than the demand that's out there. And if you were looking at the housing market for last week with Chia, then there's about 60,000 worth of renting people who are having a really hard time renting because the rent has gone up as well. So as long as those two things continue to rise, people are continuing to buy houses, and investors who are having a lot of cash in their current house right now is doing a lot of cash out with me, and buying other houses as well. So for any home, I would say when you talked about a bubble bursting, okay, possibly for homes that are about 750 and above, possibly, because our area still, the median income doesn't fully support that. It's mostly the Bay Area people or people who are in very secured industries that are keeping that market for that. But anything below that, I'm still seeing people are going to buy up the wazoo just because it's still considerably affordable.
Just from the data alone, I don't see that a bubble bust is coming, at least not anytime soon. If you've been browsing a lot on YouTube, you're probably seeing a lot of videos talk about the bubble is going to be busting. 2021 is going to be the year for foreclosure crisis, etc., etc. You gotta consider the context of that individual. Maybe there's strings attached to that video why they're trying to drive up views. And how are they going to try to get views? Is by talking a good headline, right? So it's going to drive views. So a lot of these gurus are going to make those kind of headlines just to get you to click on their video, but talk to you about selling their course, buying their book, buying something from them. There's the strings attached to that. So you got to really consider the context of the person that's making that video. You know, you got to look at the data. We don't have any inventory to justify it. Demand is still super high. It's slowed down a little bit. It's still high. Okay. Homes are still being gone in like 20 plus days on the market. That's so fast. That's like almost a cash deal.
Yeah.
You know,
I mean,
so like
the normal market where it's even on both sides typically takes about 2 months to sell a house, right? 2 to 3 months to sell a house and everything. When you're asking for the bubble bursting as well, also keep in mind of the area. Remember, in our Sacramento area, the average home prices are still below 450. So we still have lots of room to catch up on the average in total of California, right?
Yeah.
So I would see that it may hurt our neighboring Bay Area areas, but not so much here just yet.
If the market is gonna correct itself, I like how Nia Kang says that there's not gonna be a crash, there's gonna be a correction. And you're right, Nia, a correction. The difference between a correction and a crash is that the market is really, really high, but it's not gonna be like a price like 08 to where homes were slashed in half for the price. It's gonna probably go down like 5,000 reduce, 5,000 reduce, 10,000 reduce. And the reason that's going to trigger that is because homes are going to sit on the market for a long time because sellers are trying to take advantage of the market, and they're wondering why nobody's submitting an offer and it's been 30 days. Wait, I thought my home was supposed to sell in 15 days because that's the average days on the market. Well, something's wrong with your home, seller, or you overpriced it. So what they do is they reduce it. Because look, let me go back to this. Let me go back and share this with you guys. That's why you have this price reductions. 1,000 homes reduce their price. Why? It might be one of those two reasons. Something's wrong with it, or they overpriced it. So that's why they have to reduce it. So that's what you're going to see in a correction that Nia is talking about. We are long overdue for a correction, but because demand is still so high, it's taking a little bit longer for that correction to happen.
One of the things that you also have to consider as well, because interest rates are so phenomenally historically low, the difference between what you're renting for and what your mortgage is not that much of a difference. So when people are looking at and they're stressing out, they're looking at the fact, I was like, well, you know what, to get myself back on my feet, maybe I'll just rent for now and then I'll buy again later. But when your mortgage is the same, less, or slightly higher than renting, people will reconsider doing what they need to do in order to salvage their payments in their home.